What is up, everybody? Welcome to the WWE Money in the Bank 2024 post show. It is Saturday, July 6th. I'm Denise Salcedo, and I am joined by one half of the California Connection, Righteous Reg. Reg, what is up, man?
What's up, Denise? In the building, it's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. So I'm sitting here watching the beginning of Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view. I get a tweet. Somebody's like, "Hey, Reg, tell Denise to watch the show. The show started already." I'm like, "What? Why are you? What do you mean?" So I text Denise. I'm like, "Hey, Denise, I'm making a joke. Hey, Denise, the show started." Well, yeah, we're all making a joke, and you're like, "What time? I thought it started at 5." I'm like, "Denise, no, I think the show started at 4. It's on right now. I'm currently watching it." And Denise is like, "What do you mean?" And then I get online and she's like, "I'm on my way home." What do you mean? You're not even home right now?
Reg, let me tell you the humiliation. And okay, Reg, you know me, right? You know that I'm on top of my shit, right?
Schedule like a son of a gun. Yeah.
Yes, I am on top of my shit, okay? And I have never, ever had a situation like what happened to me today because I fucking forgot. It's in Canada. I didn't think. I forgot. I just thought, okay, pay-per-views here start at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like 5 o'clock is pay-per-view time unless it's in freaking Australia or Saudi Arabia where we have those 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 5 a.m. call times. Pay-per-views are at 5 o'clock here in beautiful Los Angeles. So, Reg, I had a birthday party at 3 o'clock. I even showed up early. I'm like, because they knew that I had to work. So I showed up at 2:45 and I thought, okay, I opened the party essentially. I got there early and I said, okay, I'm going to leave at 4:15. I'll be home by 20 minutes and I'll start my post show at my watch along at 4:45. That'll give me 15 minutes before before the actual showtime. So get this, I'm in the car and I quote retweet, "Hey guys, I'm going to be starting in a few minutes before the main card." Click send. Turned off my phone. The next thing I see was your text message, and I was in the car with my husband. And you know what I said? I was like, freaking Reg, he's probably confused. They're probably talking about the post show.
Yeah, you go, "That's the pre-show." I'm like, "It's not the pre-show, Denise."
Yeah. And so then I fucking had to go on WWE.com. And lo and behold, on the front page, it said 7 Eastern.
Why did you go to WWE.com?
Because that's where I go to check stuff. That's where I go, WWE.com.
Oh.
So my ass goes onto the website and it said 7. And I thought, holy shit, I have a watch along that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not even here. And then I get a follow-up text from you, Reg, and it says the men's Money in the Bank match happened already. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it gets worse, Reg. It gets worse. So here's the thing. The party that I was at was for a 10-year-old. It was a birthday party. They had the really fun jumper with the little slide and the water, and they had water balloons.
Oh, it was lit.
It was lit. So, of course, you know me, I was messing around with the kids, throwing water.
You're having the time of your life.
Water balloons and shit. And I'm thinking, oh, I have enough time to get home, powder my face. I came onto the watch along like this. I was like, "Hey guys, welcome to the watch along."
I was throwing water balloons and shit. I'm over here.
Oh man. So anyways, I did get to watch the finish of the men's Money in the Bank, by the way. I watched the last few minutes because that's all I really was able to get to. So let's start there, Reg, because you're going to have to take ground on this one here. I watched the insane spot with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. I saw the moment where Chad Gable was hanging up at the top and then just went straight down. Reminds me right away of Jeff Hardy, because when I think of anytime someone's hanging, right away I think of Jeff Hardy. But man, Drew McIntyre gets the victory here. He wins the Money in the Bank. We'll talk more about that later. What did you think of the men's Money in the Bank match?
I thought this was a fun match. Very dangerous, of course. Got to start off the rip because they were doing some stuff. I was like, yo, you guys be careful. But I thought that everybody that needed to get some shine got some shine. All the tease spots of like Jey Uso being up there. Maybe Chad Gable's going to win. You know what I mean? Like all of those spots I thought were really hot because the crowd was super into it. When LA Knight was up there, people were like, LA Knight's going to do it. I'm like, LA Knight's not going to do it, you guys. But I thought that my favorite spot was legit probably the end of Jey Uso being up there and Drew McIntyre javeling throwing the ladder like a javelin into Jey Uso's face, and it looks so crazy. And then just getting up there and winning the briefcase. We'll get to it. The women's ladder match is way better, but I thought this was a lot of fun. What did you think of from the parts that you saw, Denise?
Dude, from the parts that I saw, I felt like I had missed like so much good stuff, but I feel like the ending was really the biggest moments because I feel like that's even what I'm seeing anyone talk about. And even afterwards, when I was seeing them replay the highlights, I was expecting them to show like other big moments, and they didn't. They showed the same parts I had already seen. So I'm thinking, oh, it kind of seems like I caught the very best of the actual men's Money in the Bank match, which was the ending. So I mean, take that for what you will, but I was shocked because I had asked you for a spoiler. I'm like, dude, who won the Money in the Bank? Because I was seeing people in my chat say Drew McIntyre won, and I thought, man, what if they're trying to rib me? I'm like, what if this isn't true? Because I wasn't expecting Drew McIntyre to win. So I get a text, Jey Uso, because I didn't think that Drew needed the Money in the Bank briefcase because of the nonsense, right? And that we'll talk about that in a second. But I was thinking it was going to be Jey Uso so that we can, tell a long story. I don't know what I was expecting, but when you told me it was Drew McIntyre, I thought, oh shit, like that wasn't really what I had written down in my books,
Yeah, and what ended up happening, really crazy. At the moment when it happened, I was like, okay, they're telling a good story. We talked about it earlier on Grapsity. Drew's kind of following along the path of the things that CM Punk done. Like, him being a hypocrite about it makes it better too. Of like, I would never win a championship like that. I would never try to cash in on somebody. And then getting in the match and winning the briefcase, and then pretty much immediately cashing it in, being a super hypocrite, I think adds on to Drew character. Why he did it, that's another story. We'll get into that very soon.
By the way, we do have KW here who says we did think about ribbing Denise. If I know my audience, my audience would totally rib me.
Yeah, and totally. And especially that was the perfect time too, Denise, because you're all disheveled, your hair's all messed up. Perfect time to throw some stuff at you.
Yeah, and I would have taken it. I would have been like, oh my God, this happened. What the hell? Someone would have been like, Denise, Snooki ran in. She cashed in. She won. I would have been like, oh my God, Snooki came out.
That would have been sick. I'm waiting for Snooki to come back. She has a really good moonsault.
Oh man, of all people, I thought of Snooki. What the hell, man? All right, well, before we get into what went down with Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, I want to get into these super chats here. Thank you so much to Sheldon Jackson for gifting 5 DWO memberships. We also got a ton of new DWO members: Lady B, DRD316, Wayne, John Stamey, and then we got some super chats. So let's go. Reactions. This is Crazy 101 who says Cena versus Randy should be the WrestleMania match. Hashtag thank you, Cena. Crazy 101 also adds, my GOAT Cena is actually retiring. I will go to WrestleMania. Dream Ninja 77 says, wow, the women's murdered each other. Best women's Money in the Bank ever. The J. Paul RO says, huh? Reg won't do a Collision post-show, but would gladly stay in for a Fed PLE. Just pulling your chain. Rip Marcus, the best goofer slayer. Thank you so much to Paul. Hey, yeah, Reg, why are you here?
What do you mean, why am I here? Denise, you said, do you want to do the Money in the Bank post show? And I was like, I mean, I was going to watch Collision, Denise, but I guess I'll join you over here. This is all Denise's fault why I'm not watching Collision too.
Wow, out here talking about the Fed. I don't know why the Fed is so funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All right. We got John Black here who says, I told you last night what was going to happen. You know what, John Black? Round of applause. You deserve it. Get your flowers, man. Yeah. Ebony Prince says, hey, Denise and Reg. Reg, I hope you're doing well. Of course, Thank Reg, you, sending you lots of love, man. Appreciate Thank you so much to Ebony. All right. So let's get into that then. Let's get into Seth Rollins and Damian Priest, and we need to talk about what went down. All right, So I mean, dude, should we even bother talking about the match itself, or do you just want to get into the finish and what went down?
Let's get into Drew McIntyre coming down, because that's when it really started to go down.
Right, because for the most part, like Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, I thought was like a fine match, but it really wasn't anything new to really break into. But here's the thing. So there was a moment where it looked like Seth Rollins had actually won this match. The referee, in my eyes, counted a 3 count, Reg. What did you see?
Damian Priest did not get his shoulder up.
Thank you. That's what I didn't see his shoulder get up either. When the ref started saying it was a 2, I was like, where? I didn't see anybody's arm go up.
I don't know what was supposed to happen. Somebody posted the clip on Twitter, and he's just like, nothing. He doesn't even look. He doesn't try at all to kick out, and the referee does the fake out, even though you're supposed to count. In referee school, they say count the 3 every time, just because it's on the wrestler if that's what happens. I don't know if he was waiting for a cue or something, but yeah, that happened. Crazy.
Dude, I think that little moment right there messed up a lot of what happened afterwards, because it took a second. Yes, it ruined and disrupted the flow, because after that, a lot of people were confused, and there was a lot of time where I recall sitting there going, is this match over? Yep. When Damian Priest came out and he finally goes in, and you're like, okay, he's cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, right? But at that point, only Seth Rollins is in the ring. So I'm thinking, okay, so is Damian Priest out? Is Damian Priest in? What is happening? And so thankfully, Samantha announces that it's a triple threat. And I'm thinking, okay, he's still in this match. But that, my friend, was a 3 count.
Yeah, 100% a 3 count. Seth Rollins is your new world champion. Give him the belt because he won. I don't know what's happening there. People are saying that maybe Drew missed his cue, or they missed a music cue or something, but it got kind of weird there. But I'm conflicted, because why did you kill 6 guys in a ladder match an hour ago just for the briefcase to be killed? And I didn't understand why you would do the ladder match in order to just eliminate the briefcase an hour later in the same pay-per-view. When you killed those guys put their body on the line for the same night angle. Am I crazy here, Denise?
Reg, welcome to what they've been doing to the women for how many times?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, this one was different, right? Usually that the women's ones ends in a successful cash-in. But what they did here was they put the Drew McIntyre CM Punk story above the actual Money in the Bank. So I get what they were going for.
Said it, but you said it, Denise.
I mean, I said it. It's true. That's what they did. They put that story above it, and they basically did what they do a lot to the women. So I get people's frustrations with that, because I did see a lot of people in the chat basically saying that it kind of felt like a wasted opportunity, a wasted story there, right? Because if you would have had someone like a Jey Uso or an LA Knight or whoever, right, win the Money in the Bank, you know that for the next couple of months, etc., we would get teases, we would get all of these moments where it played into that person's character, and it kind of felt like a lot of people in that Money in the Bank match needed an opportunity, needed something to have to do on the show.
That's what gets when I get frustrated about like Royal Rumble winners, King of the Ring winners. Like when you're not going to use it to like propel a guy, and you're just going to use it to like further a story. It's like, well, you could use this to further somebody else's story. Like you said, if this would have went to LA Knight, he would have used this for a year and got even more over. If Jey Uso would have used it, it would have got even more over. It's not that it was a waste. It's just that the other guys probably would have really done something with it, and it gets frustrating. Also, it's like Drew McIntyre is supposed to be a smart wrestler. Yeah, Denise? Why are you cashing in when it's not the most opportune moment? There's 2 guys having a match that aren't completely dead. You haven't seen CM Punk all night, so you know he's somewhere. He's been stalking you. He's crossed you the match at Clash in the Castle, and you still came out here unbothered, no bodyguards, nobody to help you, to try to put your briefcase on the line, and you didn't think he was gonna come screw you? You're supposed to be the smart guy here, Drew. You can't get outsmarted by CM Punk if you're this smart guy. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean by this, because here's the thing. Drew McIntyre set himself up for this. He had said that he was going to win the Money in the Bank, and he was going to cash in that same night. So right away, he not only told the entire world, but he told one important person, which was CM Punk. So
most important.
That makes CM Punk look smart, because he's thinking, all right, well, I'll just wait here for my turn to go in there. So that missed cue, by the way. Now I'm wondering about this, because here's the thing. Let's say it was the music situation, right? Was the music supposed to play after the 2 count and before the 3 count, or immediately after the... Yes. But here's the thing, though. They could have done it like that, right? But wouldn't it have made more sense for just Seth Rollins to get... here's the problem, because Damian Priest was winning. it had to be in between the 2 and the 3 count, because let's say Seth Rollins was going to win this, then it would have been better for it to be Damian Priest versus one guy. And Drew versus one guy instead of Drew versus 2 guys.
Exactly.
But because Damian Priest was winning, it had to be in between those 2 counts. So maybe that's why Priest didn't even bother, because he was waiting for the music.
But why would I don't understand why you would do a false finish that involves him not kicking out anyways. Like, he should kick out regardless, because you're the champion. You shouldn't be getting pinned in this match, my dude.
Yeah, that's true too, man. I mean, I don't know what was happening there, but it did kind of ruin the flow a little bit for me of this match. But anyways, once CM Punk came out and he went after Drew McIntyre, I felt so bad for Drew, because now he's gotten screwed at WrestleMania. He's gotten screwed at Clash at the Castle. He's gotten screwed over here. And even though he beat up CM Punk and did all those awful things to him, I feel like what CM Punk has done to Drew McIntyre has been 100 times worse. I would rather get beat up than miss my opportunity at a championship 3 times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's his come up? And it's like, you beat CM Punk, you still lost the championship 3 times. Like, even if you like really come up on him, break his leg or something, you're still not going to be champion. CM Punk has been getting to this guy at every pay-per-view. I'm like, you need to get a friend that watches over CM Punk. It's funny because Drew keeps getting like the best of him online. He's making t-shirts. Like, on the, like, when it comes to like characterize and stuff and trying to get over on CM Punk, he's winning. But when it comes to championships and real matches, CM Punk is the one that's getting over on him. It's really funny. But I'm like, what's Drew's motivation now? You screwed me. You're still not going to be world champion.
All right. With that being said, we're getting Damian Priest versus Gunther. That is going down at SummerSlam. Why are you nodding your head?
No, I don't want that.
But you knew that was going to happen, right? Like, that was at least my prediction. I had a feeling Priest was going to win. I knew the bigger match was Seth, but I had a feeling Priest needed this just a little bit more, just to give his reign, to make it feel like his reign kind of meant something.
I thought that it would be Rollins too, until I was on the pre-show. He did a thing with Michael Cole, and the way he was talking on this, I was like, oh, he's definitely not winning.
Who's Seth?
Seth Rollins. Yeah, just the way that his speech and the way that he was saying things, and I was like, oh, he's not going to win this match.
Shut up.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. It was just weird.
By the way, the pre-show was 2 hours?
It was 2-hour pre-show.
You watched the whole thing? Reg, did they have matches?
No.
Why did you sit and watch a 2-hour pre-show?
I didn't watch it. It was just on, and I thought, like, you know, after what happened after 0 Hour last week, I'm like, maybe they're gonna, you know, have something. And then we talked about it today on Graph City, how there were no women's title. I'm like, why didn't they could have had 3 matches on here. Actually, kind of the whole flow of the show, there was like 45 minutes worth of downtime. I'm like, you could have been doing something in this time. Denise, what is that with these shows? Because you kind of brought that point up last time we did a post show together.
Dude, I can imagine watching a 2-hour pre-show, especially because they never give real opinions. It's WWE filtered
it's
language.
Fluff, dude, it's such fluff.
But I'm saying it's true though. Like, you're not gonna get like, oh, you know, no one's gonna be. How do I say this? There's a different way about talking about wrestling when you're on WWE television and when you're on a regular ass podcast.
Denise is trying to be PC. She's like, let me see. There's a difference. But if you start.
Trust me, I know the freaking difference, Reg. I know the freaking difference. Okay.
No, it was bad. I don't know why. It was just like, I'm going to put it on and just like, you know, clean up my place and stuff like that. Not like I wasn't really like focused on it. But like, what are they doing?
Reg,
why did they do that?
You were watching too. You showed up early. Teacher's pet over here showed up early to watch the 2-hour pre-show of people talking.
I mean, one of us has to show up on time. Hey yo!
Wow, Reg. Wow. You know what? You were watching 2-hour pre-show. I was at least throwing a couple of water balloons. And I ate good too.
Yeah, you did win. You got to hit the big slide with the water balloons. Yeah, you won.
I mean, I didn't get to go in the slide, but
come on, you're small enough for it.
Yeah, but I was wearing jeans, bro, and I had plans. I had plans to show up to work on time.
plans? What went through your brain that you thought 3 o'clock? Like, what? That schedule was tight, Denise.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Reg, my whole life is like that. It's like hour 1 to 2, I'll do this. Hour 2 to 3, I'll do that.
The issue is you live in Los Angeles, California. You can't just move move like how you want. Like, you can't be, I'll be there in 15 minutes. That's a lie.
I was there, and it took me 24 minutes to get there. And it's Saturday.
Saturday don't matter.
There wasn't that many people. I took the streets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the traffic wasn't the issue. The issue was I didn't know the show started at 4. That was the issue. And everybody was making fun of me.
It was perfect. I loved it. How didn't you not know, though?
I just didn't think about it. Honest to God, I didn't freaking think about it.
Wow,
Not even a little bit.
Be so mad at you.
Who?
Triple H.
Oh, I know. Imagine. Hold on. I was trying to do a Triple H impression, but I can't. Can you do a Triple H impression?
I don't have one.
Me either. I was trying to think of it. I was like, wait, I don't think I could talk like Triple H.
I don't have one.
I could do a Hogan one, a really bad Hogan one. No? Well, because I was just want to say that doesn't work for me, brother.
No,
doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh, that's terrible. That's god awful. That's so bad.
You know what? That was probably more entertaining than anything you saw in a 2-hour pre-show.
Honestly, run that back 5,000 times in a row for 2 hours and it'll be better.
Oh, man, I can't. All right, so. All right, we got a couple of super chats. Let's see what the people are saying here. This is from Tracy WV88, who says they were late with Drew's music. Her thoughts on the botch there that we saw. Sven Big says, moment of silence for the medic Lady Fatu. Medic Lady Fatu hit by mistake. Ouch. Dude, she took a big ass leg to the freaking head.
It looked like she took like a spinning heel kick or something. That was scary. It's like, could this be like a lawsuit? But I figured like she knows the game, right? If she's sitting at ringside, she knows like she could potentially get kicked in the head by a big giant Samoan.
I mean, as long as she's not like hurt legitimately, that could be kind of like a cool story for her to tell later on in her life.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a medic for WWE, and this big Samoan guy came and kicked me in the head. Or she's like, I'm suing you guys. This is my company now. You never know.
What move would you play, Reg?
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money.
I think it depends on my salary. Like, depending on where I'm at, how much I'm getting paid. Do I want to risk it? Do I want to keep this salary? Or do I want to sue?
Give me this is my company now.
All right. We got KW here, who's been a member of the DWL for 11 months. Says Denise impression doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh, come on. She did it again, too.
It's just fun to say. It doesn't work for me, brother.
So bad.
Reg, it doesn't work for me, bro.
That's so bad.
Fine. It doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh, my God.
Is that better?
It's getting a little bit better.
All right, so I had to put some like body into it. You know, he's got 24-inch pythons. I got to rip the shirt a little bit.
You got to get into it.
I got to get into it. Right, exactly. All right, so let's keep this going. I want to go ahead and get into a match that I thought was going to be predictable, but it ended up not being predictable. And that was the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker. So I thought this was going to be the easiest match to predict. And let me tell you, I was very surprised when Bron Breakker lost.
You predicted that Bron Breakker was going to go over?
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know, Denise, because I think it's kind of early is where I'm at. Like, I think I know what they're doing with Bron Breakker. They're making this like destructive, crazy guy. But like, that plays into why he's not going to win. And that kind of plays into the story that they told today. I don't know if I predicted it would go how it was. It was just like a straight up back and forth match. And the way that they've been booking Bron, it's not really like that, right? Like, it kind of expected him to come in and like squash him a little bit, I guess.
I was expecting Bron Breakker and Sami Zayn to. I thought they had a good match. I think they could have gone a little longer and could have done a little bit more for sure. I think there was definitely more there, but I did like the match. But again, I just thought that the way that they had been building Bron Breakker, it was sort of just when you have somebody do the stuff that Bron does, move the way that he does. Yeah. I just felt like, okay, they're going to just be different with him. They're going to have him win the title. And I should have known, Reg. I should have freaking known, because on Monday Night Raw, when the last image we saw was Bron Breakker holding up that title. They always do that. Holds up the title, he ain't winning. And I saw that. And you know what I did? I chose to ignore that.
Anytime that the non-champion picks up the championship, in WWE at least, they're not going to win. Honestly, it's just not his time. And somebody was like, well, what about SummerSlam? I'm like, I don't even think SummerSlam is his time. Like, I don't think he needs to be champion right now. Just let him keep dominating guys, running through them. They're telling the story still, I think, with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, which is, it's been a while, but I didn't really expect Sami to lose here.
I kind of hope that we see a little bit more here with Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker because, again, I just feel like Bron Breakker, there's certain talent, though. I get what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
You want to give some people to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain talent that I feel you just go with it right then and there because certain talent are just different. They're a little special, right? I really thought he was winning here.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have won, it would have made a lot of sense. There's a good time for him just because he's so over and so hot. He got a new theme, new theme music and all this. Felt like he was being set up for it, but yeah, I guess they're still telling the Sami Zayn story. What do you think they're going to do with Sami Zayn at SummerSlam? Like, who's a good opponent for him? SummerSlam's only a couple weeks away.
Do a rematch with him and Bron Breakker. Have Bron win. Because did you see the shot of Bron Breakker? He looked pissed, bro. He looked mad.
Yeah, I guess you could immediately run it back. That does kind of make sense.
I wouldn't mind it personally, but hey, that's just me. All right, let's see what people are saying. We got David Primero here who says, sorry, but I can't take the new Bloodline seriously. It should be called Solo Sikoa and Friends, Dumb and Dumber with the Big Bad Wolf. Hey, shout out to Dumb and Dumber. I love that movie.
Great movie, an incredible movie. I like the new Bloodline.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
All right. We'll talk about that in just a second. So let's go ahead and get into, I want to talk about the women's Money in the Bank match before we get into some of the other big topics of the day. Let's get into the women's Money in the Bank because this match here was really good, especially the last couple of bits there. There were some moments in the beginning, they were a little rocky. They weren't clean. There were some moments that didn't necessarily hit the way that they wanted it to.
Zoe Starks, careful out there, my homegirl.
But Reg, they bounced back. All right. They definitely bounced back. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I cannot for the life of me get over that Chelsea Green spot. I almost feel like I had this like bank of memories of things I wanted to talk about for this match. And the second I saw Chelsea Green go through those tables from the top of the ladder, everything else got wiped away from my memory. And that is the only thing that I can focus on. This was fun, but damn, Chelsea Green, that was insane.
Yeah, Chelsea Green floated. That's such a scary bump because it's almost going backwards and like so many things could go wrong. Like she took it so perfectly. Like what a great way to land off of that. Shout out to Chelsea Green. I thought she played a great role in this match being like, I'm afraid of heights. And then she gets a little ladder and she's like, I'm not going to get on that. She gets a bigger ladder and she climbs up there and then takes this big bump. Incredible stuff. Zoe Starks, again, dangerous lady. Be careful out there. There was one time where she had Lyra on the ladder and she did like a flip into the ring and she like landed on her neck on the ladder. I was like, whoa, careful out here. I thought that most of the match was really great though. Tiffany Stratton is your new Money in the Bank winner. Nobody was really surprised. Did you pick her to win this match?
Yeah, she was my pick for this. And my second, the runner-up was Chelsea Green.
Yeah, after her little interview with the homie Adrian, I don't really know how I feel about Tiffany Stratton. Congrats to people who are a big fan of her, but I'm not really that big fan of her.
And so here's the thing. I did want to talk. There were some other really good moments during this match. I'm trying to remember there are some other ones because,
Io almost killed Zoe Starks with that big sit out pile driver, essentially.
Yes. Oh, and when Lyra went through the freaking back first into the ladder.
Back first into the ladder. There's so many spots.
Dude, I thought there were so many moments. Like every girl's lower back in this match is going to be killing them. But yeah, there was a moment where I saw Lyra get put through that. God, I'm trying to remember so much, but they really did a good job of just having all of these spots. Naomi, she did phenomenal too. That moment when she was spread, like doing between the ladders.
And then hit a DDT off of the splits off of two ladders.
How do you even do that? Because think about the positioning you have to be in, right? Because it's like 1 second your legs are like this, completely open. And the next thing you know, you're working yourself into a DDT. How, Reg? How?
1 second your legs are like this. Yeah, I mean, whew. I mean, magic, gymnastics, stretching, fitness. I don't know, one of those things. No, incredible showing from them. This is some scary stuff though in there. Like, I thought that all the women really went hard though. You know, incredible work from everybody. Tiffany Stratton, this was kind of predicted because she's been on her way, and I think that as far as utilizing the briefcase with her gimmick and all the things, she's probably going to be the best fit for it.
Yeah, man. I was very excited because I'm excited to see what she's going to do as a talent. I think she's very talented, of course, with having the gymnastics background and how fast they've skyrocketed her from the NXT roster to the main roster, and just like to the point where you're out there seeing her in Elimination Chamber, seeing her in Money in the Bank. It's a whole lot here, but dude, this match was very fun. Did you like this match more than the men's? Because I saw a lot of people in my chat were basically saying they felt that the women's Money in the Bank was a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the match, I thought the participants in the women's matches just had me more excited. And it ended up the women's match was way better than the men's match. It just felt a little bit more innovative. The women were going a little bit harder. As dangerous as it was, like they were just all going for it so hard that I was like, yeah, I like this match. I like the energy. It felt like everyone was really trying to win and people were trying to get over, and it was great.
There's also another thing, actually. Thank you so much to Luis here, who reminds me. We had that little confrontation with Trish Stratus and Tiffany backstage. I mean, hey, that's a possibility here for Trish Stratus to get in there with her.
I mean, if you want to utilize somebody for this big giant show you got coming up, SummerSlam, getting Trish Stratus in there is a really, really good idea. And if you want to get somebody over, I think putting Tiffany Stratton in there with her is probably the best idea.
We got Mike Parker here, who sends in a generous super chat saying, glad to see Tiffany win, but let's give Chelsea Green her flowers. No one understands the assignment like her. Yeah, I felt bad because even when Tiffany Stratton won, I was in such shock over the Chelsea spot that I was like, yay, congratulations to Tiffany. But dude, did we just see what Chelsea did?
That's what's the best about some of these matches, Denise. Like Chelsea lost, but her clips is going to be played forever at this point with how big and great of a bump that looked. So she won.
She did. Okay, if I was going to be losing in this situation, I want to lose the way that Chelsea Green did.
Exactly.
Man, she's fucking brave, Reg. She's
that's a scary-ass bump, dude.
Yeah, and if you notice too, on the replay, they kind of showed a different angle, and you see more of like the backside, and you see her body kind of do this like twist, like you see her leg do this twist in order for her to do that landing. Oh, it was perfect, man. Yeah. It was perfect.
Incredible talent. Shout out to Chelsea Green, who has taken advantage of every single moment. Anything she's involved with, it's like, this is how it is. At the end of it, you're like, damn, Chelsea Green really did that. So shout out to her.
Yeah, she did. She kind of won this, but seriously, a lot of really great stuff that we saw in this entire freaking matchup. So shout out to the women. They absolutely killed it. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to save the 6-man tag match for last. So let's get into the John Cena topic, because that is probably the biggest news coming out of this pay-per-view. Actually, it is the biggest news coming out of this pay-per-view. Definitely. It is that, you know, for every single time, Reg, I have seen every single interview that John Cena has done. I at least read the news on it, right? And I swear, every single month, John Cena tells people he's retiring here. John Cena tells US Magazine this, GQ this, blah, 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 this. It's always about his retirement and when it's going to happen, right? At some point, I almost start wanting to stop reading them, because I'm like, he tells you things, but doesn't really tell you things. And then you get a little bit of like, oh, it's coming soon or whatever, right? So he comes out here today. He's introduced by Trish Stratus. He goes out there and he basically says that he is there to announce his retirement. And I'm thinking, you're going to have a match though, right? Like, this isn't it, like right here, right now. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was weird for a second there. When he initially said it, I was like, this is it? This isn't a way to retire, Cena?
Right. And he took a while to get there. He's like, I love the Canadians. And I'm like, so you're retiring right now? You're not retiring right now, right? Like, what's happening here?
There was a couple of fake outs in this, Denise, because He faked us out right there. And then at the end, he's like, who wants to fight? It felt like he was calling somebody out to fight too. I'm like, what is John Cena doing to us right now?
Yes, but then he kept going because then he goes, then he starts talking about Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. And he starts saying like, I want to be a part of it. So I'm like, okay, he's retiring on the first Raw Netflix. Is that what's happening? Like, what is happening here? I'm just trying to make out what you're saying. Then he goes and he says, Royal Rumble 2025. And I'm like, oh my God, the last match is Royal Rumble. And then he goes, Elimination Chamber 2025. Okay, the Elimination
That's the
Chamber.
one. Yep, that's the last match.
Finally, WrestleMania. And I'm like, okay, well, you could have just gotten there from the beginning because that's what I had originally thought, that if you're going to retire, it's going to happen. I had said first, I'm on SummerSlam, WrestleMania.
Right.
That's really what my creative process was. But John Cena kind of beat around the bush until he finally got there. But that's the thing, though. We are going to be getting sort of like this finale mini tour, I guess you can say, for John Cena, where he's going to be, like you mentioned, at Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania being that last and final match. So there's a lot to kind of get into with this. So first and foremost, Reg, what was your initial impression of this in terms of him making this announcement?
I had that kind of thought that you had because like he's done a bunch of promos over the last like 3 years or interviews where he's like, this is it, you guys, this is it. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know. And so when Trish introduced him, it was like, oh, what's happening here? And him immediately being like, I'm retiring, you guys, was like, whoa. When you really think about it, it's like, he was on top for so long, Denise. Like there was like a straight 15 years where John Cena was the top guy in this company, and so many memories, so many people that watch pro wrestling or WWE now, they started with John Cena. Like he is their Hogan, like Hogan was to us, like John Cena is to them. And so for a bunch of people, this is trauma to him finally being like, I'm out of here, you guys. My last match is going to be at WrestleMania. But I'm honestly happy he's doing it like out loud and it's not a mystery anymore. Because it felt like when he did the solo match or when he did the break thing, like, was that it? Like, are you done here? But he didn't ever say it. I'm like, I'm happy he's like, this is going to be it, you guys. At these dates will be the exact time when you'll see me for the last time. And to announce it that long before WrestleMania in Vegas, that's going to be insane. I'm happy for Cena, man. He like dominated the industry when the industry first didn't want him to. He was in positions that the whole time he was on top, there were people trying to get him down from there. He made a career out of nothing essentially and became one of the biggest superstars in wrestling history. He deserves like Hall of Fame, like everything WWE, give it all to him. It's Cena. It's great. But yeah, the things that he talks about, like being a part of Netflix, I think is really exciting. Like, what do you think it's going to look like when they debut over there? If Cena's going to be there, like, do you think they're going to try to get edgy, Denise? Do you think they're going to change the whole presentation? I'm so excited to see what happens.
Right. So with that, to answer your question on that, I do think that first of all, with this announcement, what they did was they upped the value on everything.
Yep.
Because from now on, all of a sudden, you're going to care more about being at the Royal Rumble. You're going to care more.
John Cena's farewell tour. You're right.
You're going to care more about the weekly television. Is he going to be on? He didn't really clarify. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be seeing him on a weekly basis or at least a little bit more on like the Raws or the SmackDowns. I know he mentioned Raw on Netflix. So we're going to be expecting him there, of course. So now it's a situation where suddenly those shows are going to matter a whole lot more because this is it for John Cena. So the value has gone up. On top of that, the value went up on WrestleMania. I mean, think about that, because here's the thing, Reg. They could have done with John Cena what they did with Sting, right? Where you get your own show and it's kind of just for you, because John Cena is that kind of a person that you can do something like this. If they wanted to do just one night where it's all about John Cena, 1000% could have done that. But of course, because WrestleMania is the end all be all for WWE, that's where you're going to do it. So great. Of course, amazing to have his final match be at WrestleMania. But it definitely brings up the value a whole lot in this. And now I'm thinking, because when you think about this, you know, obviously Roman Reigns is a big star. We know that, but he's still a big star within primarily the confines of pro wrestling.
Totally.
John Cena is one of the last guys that has broken out in terms of isn't just famous for pro wrestling. He's famous for what he does outside too. If you talk to a lot of younger kids nowadays, they just know John Cena as the John Cena, the guy that they see on TV shows or movies or whatever, wherever it is that they see John Cena. So John Cena is one of those performers that, again, you want to do something special. So I raise the question to you and I bring the question to everybody here. What if you have John Cena become a 17-time world champion before he retires in order to have him be the one, you know, be the guy, the seventh that breaks the record?
Everybody in the chat is saying that he announced at the scrum that he's going to be here for all of 2025 in WWE, I guess.
So I'm guessing
until
from
December.
January 1st through WrestleMania. So
no,
that
till December.
period.
He announced at the scrum he's going to be there till December. Yeah.
December 2025?
Yeah, for the whole year. He's going to do 30 dates, he says.
So then when's the last match? It's not at WrestleMania?
No. He confused us again, Denise. Yeah, they're saying he announced it that he's going to do 30 dates for the whole year, essentially.
I just went on this whole freaking talk about...
Don't matter. None of it matters. Yep. None of it matters. Yep. Don't care. He'll be here for 30 dates instead of the 3 that you thought he was going to be here for.
Bro, he's confusing the hell out of me. Am I crazy? I'm not the only person who's confused here.
Royal Rumble. Denise is like, damn, Royal Rumble's going to be great. Psych. Elimination Chamber. Oh, yeah. Elimination Chamber. That's amazing. Just kidding. WrestleMania. And Denise is like, damn, WrestleMania is his last match. And he's still like, psych.
I'm done, John Cena. Send me an invite, man. I'll RSVP, please.
Tell us the official last date. Just like put it in writing and we'll be there.
All right. So with that being said, now I guess I can add, I had just said he could be that guy that they do a specific show for where it's like John Cena's. I mean, I don't want to call it John Cena's last match or whatever, because, you know, but they could do something like that now.
I think my question is, one, yes, I think he can do the 17-time championship thing. That way you get that away from that old man over there. My thing is, do you do it? Do you have him beat Cody, or do you have him win the Raw championship, and would that dilute it?
So I think it could be the World Heavyweight Championship, because I don't think he's won that. He hasn't won this version of
you're
like
right.
This new lineage that they're doing of the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think if they could do either or. I mean, it's John Cena. I mean, he's going to be getting a shit ton of publicity for this, so you might as well milk what you can get, because he's obviously a 3-time former World Heavyweight Champion, but not from this current lineage that we're seeing of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
So, I mean, they could do either or, and either or would be something huge. But I do think that there's a really awesome chance for them to have John Cena be the guy in the history books that gets that 17-time world champion status.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, it's either him or Orton, I guess, at this point. And like, it makes more sense for it to be Cena. If he was just doing a couple of matches, I'd say no on him winning the championship. But if he's going to be there for 30 or so dates, like, give that man the belt. Give it to him.
30 dates. Someone do the math. Let me see.
I wonder how many of those are going to be matches is the thing.
So that's at least, I'm so bad at math, 2.5 appearances a month.
I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year, so that's, you know, that's a lot of Raws.
So there you go. We can count on John Cena pretty much being there throughout 2025.
Who's your John Cena, not like Randy Orton? Who do you want to see him wrestle out of this kind of new crop of people?
I don't really have like a name that I'm like, oh my God, I must see this. But a lot of people were mentioning Gunther. And so now they kind of sold me on the idea, and I'm easily sold, Reg.
Why y'all trying to get? How old is John Cena? Y'all trying to get this old man's ass beat by? What's the first match you want to see John Cena? I want to see him get his ass beat. It's like, no, we want to see him come in and do the nostalgic stuff.
Oh man, I mean, he's not gonna go in there and freaking have matches with, I don't know who sucks. Whoever sucks, he's got to be good. You got him for 30 dates, bro. I mean, he's probably not going to be wrestling all 30 days
anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So regardless, he's going to be in there with a tough competitor.
Not if you put him in there with like Grayson Waller.
Poor Grayson Waller catching strays on this pod.
I like Grayson Waller.
You just chose. All right. So, I mean, not all the 30 times that he's there, he's going to be wrestling. He could just come out and be like, hey, guys, what's up? John Cena over here. But that's it. That's all they need. And it's going to sell a shit ton of tickets.
You got to have at least 15 of those be matches then, like half of it.
I don't know, man. Do you feel, how many did he have the last time he was doing his run in WWE?
Not that many. I think he might have went on the house show run, though. It might have been a lot.
Nah. All right. Well, we'll figure this out. But anyway, so that's what's going on with John Cena.
Interesting.
There is one major thing that I want to close off with before we wrap up the John Cena topic. Mm-hmm. And I had mentioned this on my podcast, and on my watch along, and I mentioned it again. And that is that on the bright side of all of this, because I know people are going to be sad, they're going to be bummed. Like, man, if John Cena's got to retire, that means we're all old, blah, blah, blah. We all start getting in our feels, right? The pro of all of this is that John Cena got to retire on his own terms. That is honestly, to me, the biggest pro, because I had mentioned an example, and this is a big example, Triple H. Triple H didn't get to do that. Triple H, things happen with his health, and unfortunately, he didn't get to retire on his own terms.
Most famous didn't retire on his own terms. Right there over your shoulder, he'll tell you every day about fucking Bill Goldberg.
Every time he talks to Bret Hart,
he's like, my career was ended by this fool, and I wasn't ready.
Yes, exactly that. And then also, I also brought up this other example, and this is not that it wasn't necessarily on his own terms, but he kind of got screwed, and that was Kurt Angle with the Baron Corbin thing.
Yeah.
Again, not everybody gets the option to have some say in who their last opponent's going to be, how they're going to do it, and all of that stuff's, I really, really love what AEW did with Sting. What AEW did with Sting was phenomenal, and I think more wrestlers deserve send-offs like that.
This needs to put that in the dirt if we're keeping it real. For what John Cena did for WWE, this needs to be the most over the top. They need to give him every flower in the world. They have to give him everything, because he did so much for this company that he really deserves the sickest farewell we could ever see.
Yeah, man, honestly. And I guess we'll find out the date at some point. So it's not WrestleMania 41, guys. I'm sorry, all right? Don't shoot the messenger, please.
It's still going to be a hot show, though. John Cena's going to be there.
Yeah. The last WrestleMania with John Cena. There you go. That's how we can word it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we word it. All right, we got one buck here who says, is John Cena's last match a win or a loss? I got to say a win. I think it's nice. Come on, imagine had Sting lost his, like it's got to be a win.
Historically, you're supposed to go out on your back, but who's he gonna beat, Denise? That's the thing. Like, is he gonna beat Randy Orton for his last match? Because that's like one of his biggest rivalries. I think that's right there.
I don't know who's gonna be on his last match, but I just think it's nice to end with a win. It doesn't feel right if it ends with a loss. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'm sorry. I think it needs to be a win.
Undertaker, like all these people lose on their way out. Shawn Michaels.
Come on, let's change things, Reg. Come on, okay. It's so nice.
I think it might, in John Cena's case, him winning would probably hit a little bit harder just because he's historically known for winning. So I kind of agree.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We need to have nice things. Can we just have nice things? This could be a nice thing. Please.
This could be a nice thing. I agree.
Thank you. All right. Will Chisholm here says that Metro and Cody Bad Blood teaser felt like they was hot boxing in the car. What day was that? October 5th or October 8th?
October 5th, the anniversary of the original 1997 one.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that. John Taylor here says, been traveling all day, so haven't caught up on Money in the Bank, but wanted to show some love to the best in the game, Denise and Reg. Thank you so much, John.
Thanks,
Truly
John.
appreciate this a whole lot, man. Thank you so much.
Y'all are cool.
All right, so all right, now let's go ahead and get into this main event. Oh boy, there's a lot to get into with this. So the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Solo Sikoa pinned Cody Rhodes, gets the win for his team. They did a shit ton of ref bumps. We got a botched low blow, which was my favorite thing of this entire match. Reg, how on earth do you botch a low blow? Please, for the love of God, explain the science to me on that.
Did he like punch his brother in the head or something?
Wait, what?
It looked like he punched his brother in the head on the botch lobe, like he went through and got to the other side. I don't know how this happened.
Oh, that head.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean his head?
Oh my God, no. In the
Wait,
head.
I'm confused. What are you talking about, Reg?
It looked like when he did that, he hit his brother whose head was down there instead.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Never mind, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Oh, you really misunderstood.
Well, because I didn't notice that he looked like he hit his brother on the head. I thought he hit him on the butt.
Yeah, no. I thought Jacob Fatu, amazing. I thought all of his showings were great. He looks menacing. He makes the Bloodline look way better than they previously have. Like, he adds so much prestige to them. Kevin Owens' story, I love Kevin Owens so much. Shout out to him and his mom. Like, just being here in that situation and doing this is really insane. Solo pinned Cody Rhodes. Denise, how do you feel about them teasing Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam? Is that a main event?
Yeah, I think so, man. I don't know.
You said yeah?
Bro, I'm not feeling this. I'm sorry. Did you see the crowd reaction to this? There was none. People didn't. Everybody had they really did that?
You got to switch it with Jacob.
Reactions.
Yeah.
The show ended on a dud. People didn't know how to react to it.
Did you like the match?
No. The best parts were Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was the best part. I did like the little bit the ending. I mean, of course, the drama and the shenanigans and everything.
The first part of it was a house show match. I was like, they're doing a house show match right now, dude. What is this? It was kind of weird. But when they got into the plunder, it got fun.
Right, because I did think that when the Bloodline was basically on offense during this whole match, I just thought, oh my God, please let someone tag someone. And when they were beating up on Kevin Owens for what felt like 40 minutes. Tell me they did not beat up on Kevin Owens for like 40 minutes.
Their heat segment was a while. I was like, all right, you guys.
That's
I think it might be time to tag somebody in. Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, like the way that they started the match, I was so irritated when I saw them freaking just the way that they started this match. And I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? Start in a freaking fight. What are we doing? And it wasn't until Kevin Owens got in there when he started punching and kicking and stomping. And I thought, thank you, Kevin Owens. He understood this assignment. He understands what needs to be done here. And so I was really into that portion of it. And then I was waiting for like this big moment to have Kevin Owens and Jacob Fatu. And they teased it a little bit. We got a little bit pieces here and there, but we never had the full-blown moment between them. I thought that was kind of missing in this match, where I was really counting on that. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I hope that SummerSlam we get Jacob Fatu versus Kevin Owens one-on-one, because I think that was the most exciting part of all of this. Yeah, it was just too slow in moments. And like you said, like you guys, that angle they just did in New York where they came out at the beginning and Kevin, Cody, and Randy ransacked everything. They beat them up. They beat up the security guards. Why aren't they having that same energy here? Like, why are we get to the match and then you guys are just like, all right, let's wrestle. No, dude, why aren't you? Let's fight. I thought you guys were angry about everything they did. They're like, let's get in there and grapple. And it's like, I don't think you guys should be grappling right now, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying at the top of this. And that's why I only liked Kevin Owens at the start of all of this. But then when Kevin Owens was getting beat up for like the world's longest time, it took a little bit out of me. But then afterwards, they got it back together and then the match got fun again once things started actually happening.
Time.
Dude, he did. I was thinking to myself, Kevin Owens, get up. Do something about to roll in there and start fighting for you.
Fight back, my dude. Hilarious.
Yeah. And so, I did love, and this was so funny because I kept thinking to myself, like, this Prime hydration station is always out there and no one ever uses it. And I had just said it on my watch along, and 2 seconds later, it was like Kevin Owens and we were on the same wavelength because he goes in and he grabs that Prime hydration station. And then we had the table spot. I'm trying to remember what happened with that.
Kevin Owens laid out Jacob, and then he hit like a frog splash from the guardrail. That's
what it was. Thank you. I really liked that moment too. I thought that was cool. So things definitely picked up towards the end of the match, of course. But man, I just didn't feel Solo Sikoa defeating Cody Rhodes. It didn't feel right.
This match should have been like a tornado 6-man match. Like, they shouldn't have had tags because they were selling us on these guys wanted to really fight and really wanted to do this. But the tags just like messed up the flow again, like we talked about, the flow of the match. And having to wait and their long heat segments just like kind of took away from it. When it got to the crazy shit, that's when the match got really good. So if they would have just started with the tornado tag, no disqualification match, it would have worked better.
Yeah, I also just didn't feel like they did enough to make me say, oh, damn, this was such a cool moment when Solo Sikoa defeated Cody Rhodes or pinned Cody Rhodes.
It was like, I knew it was coming. And then when it happened, it was just kind of anticlimactic. It was just like, oh, he won, you guys. All right, we're going to the press conference. And it was like, we need something bigger, I think.
That's what I was thinking too. And I felt bad because a lot of people were saying, oh my God, this is the main event, or something really great is going to happen.
And it didn't.
Yeah. And it didn't. I mean, I think they could have easily closed off with the women's Money in the Bank.
Very easily. When they were that's what I didn't understand, because they had announced earlier, PW Insider, somebody was like, the 6-man's gonna main event the show. And so when they say stuff like that, you expect maybe some big moments gonna happen at the end, big return, but nothing happened.
Yeah, man. So that's basically what went down there. All right, let's get into some of these super chats here. This is from Jana, who says Bayley has a match for SummerSlam. Does that mean that Liv gets left off of 3 PLEs in a row? If Rhea isn't ready, Lyra, Io are the best female contenders on Raw. I mean, damn, has it really been 3 PLEs in a row for Liv as champion?
What is wrong with Liv?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Liv Morgan.
She's not hurt. Why wasn't she on the show?
She just didn't have a match. She had a match with Zelina Vega on Raw, and that was the extent of it all. So let me see. She was on the May. When was that? She was on the King of the Queen. She was in the King and the King and Queen of the Ring. Mm-hmm. She had that match in May against Becky Lynch. That was when the title change happened, and that was back in May. So she wasn't on. What was June?
June was
Clash of the Castle. June. Yeah, okay, so she wasn't on Clash of the Castle, and then she wasn't on Money in the Bank. So yeah, so then she's right. Jana's right. That SummerSlam would be the third pay-per-view where she hasn't been on, and she's only had 2 matches on Raw, and that was that match against Becky Lynch where we last saw Becky, and then the match with Zelina Vega, and that's legitimately been it. So
there's no way they can leave her off SummerSlam, though, Denise, right? That'd be crazy.
I think you got to have all your champions at SummerSlam. You got to have Bayley. Well, I mean, of course, Bayley's going to be on because she has that match already with Nia Jax. Mm-hmm. And then I don't think you could leave off Liv Morgan off of this.
No, that would be crazy. We talked about it a little bit earlier on Grabsity on how like they're essentially using Liv in the Rhea role. Like they essentially just slotted her right in, and they're like waiting around for Rhea to come back, but we can't like leave Liv in like nothing until then. She has to get some kind of defenses on under her belt. And I'm really confused because I understood why they didn't have Rhea defend the belt, because she's unbeatable. You're never going to believe that anybody was going to beat her anyways. And that's kind of what they built for her. But the kind of draw of Liv is she's a beatable champion. So if you could have anybody challenge her and you're going to believe that they could beat her, that's kind of the draw, but you just have her win in the end. It doesn't really make sense.
Right. But I also think, like, well, you're right. It is believable that she can be beat. The problem is everyone knows that the person that's going to beat her is Rhea Ripley.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we're just in this like waiting period, and it sucks for Liv, but like still put her on the show though.
Right, like have matches, man. I mean, no one's gonna complain if you go out there, you have a banger of a match and it's good. Like, so what if she retains and we all knew it? At least let it be an enjoyable match and get her on the card. Because for me, it's a matter of just having the women's champions on the card. Because if not, it just feels like the belt doesn't mean as much.
That's it. Like I was happy when Rhea was getting over as the Judgment Day, the leader, but like defend the championship though. You have that belt. You want to add some more prestige to it. Like you being in the main event angles and all that is great, but if you're not defending the belt, then what really is happening here?
Right. I feel you, man. All right, we got well-rounded Leo here who says Liv is only champion to lose to Rhea. Yeah, kind of what we just touched on right now, which sucks, but hey, we all know what the story is. But
is there a timetable for Rhea, Denise? Do you know?
Oof, no. I mean, because when was she out? Let me see, what day was she's out?
Because a couple weeks after Mania, yeah.
Right, because it was literally like fairly right after that. But the problem is that we don't have very clear like details on what exactly is necessarily wrong on her. So it was April 8th. We just know it's her right arm, right? But we don't really have too many details on that. So she's been gone since April 8th.
I guess we don't know the severity and to see when she could come back, you know?
Right. So she can be back soon. She can be back not soon. I really hope she's back by SummerSlam, but who knows? We don't know any of the details really in regards to that. But yeah, like Sven Big mentioned, she just got married. So she's also, going to be taking some time for that. It kind of seems like it all just happened.
No matches. She's like, yo, you guys, I'm having fun. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Alrighty. So did we talk about everything? We covered everything, right?
There was only 5 matches. It's hard not
I know. Alrighty. So ladies and gents, that was our Money in the Bank post show. Thank you guys so much to everybody who tuned in. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow is NXT day because there's a lot going on. We have NXT Heat Wave. I'm going to be doing a watch along for Heat Wave. I'm going to show up on time this time. And what do you call it? So if you guys want to hang out and watch NXT Heatwave with me, I will be live. And then immediately afterwards, I will be doing a post show with Chinadu. So we'll be here doing that. Also, I'm dropping daily SummerSlam videos in case you guys haven't seen those. Make sure to check those out. Give them some love. They require a lot of work, and I'm dropping one each and every single day. Also, in case you guys missed it, I am once again bringing back my giveaway. So if any of you here are AEW fans and don't want to shell out $50 to watch AEW All In, if you leave a nice and kind review over on my Apple Podcast page, Instincts Culture by Denise Salcedo, and make sure to leave your name, your Twitter name or your Instagram name, and you will be entered into a live raffle. The raffle will be done live on the air July 10th, and the winner will get to watch AEW All In for free. And depending on how this goes, we might sneak in another one right before the pay-per-view. So this is sort of the test run. If this one does well, then I'll do another one before the pay-per-view. So please make sure to go in and leave a nice and kind review. And yeah, Reg, what do you got going on before we wrap things up?
Just check out my music on righteousreg.bandcamp.com. Every Saturday, I'm on with Philip Lindsay. Every Wednesday, I'm on with Mike and Indeed, and also on with Denise on the AEW Dynamite post show. Appreciate you guys for showing up. This is fun.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone. Take care.